Welcome to Beers and Brawls, the show my guests and I drink beer and talk all things wrestling. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Beers and Brawls. I'm your host, Jared, and another shout out obviously to our sponsor, Shifty Lizard, keeping us going throughout this episode. Now I have a huge guest on tonight. She's a mainstay of South Australian wrestling for many years. You've seen her in PWSA, RCW. You've also seen her pop up around other companies around the state. A multi-time RCW Women's Champion. She is the Huntress, Miki Fortune. Miki.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's been a long time coming where we've been trying to tee this up, so...
Yeah, of course. No, definitely. I've been, wanting to have you on here for a long time now. A lot of history here in South Australian wrestling that we're going to get into. But how's everything going at the moment? How's the body feeling?
Good. Body's feeling really good. Definitely the strongest I've ever been, and obviously the heaviest, which is the goal. But yeah, so feeling really good. Obviously, bit of roadblocks with my ankle, and then obviously, pregnancy and having my daughter. I had to kind of refigure out my body in a way.
Yeah.
A lot of changes, but everything's going really good at the moment, and yeah, just keep trucking.
Yeah, nice, awesome, that's good. No, I was glad to you're back into it now. We'll talk on those the injuries and stuff as we go along, but you've had a bit of a rocky path in the last few years, obviously with that and COVID, all that different stuff that's impacted you, but it's great to see you out there now and kicking ass again, so it's really good. Popping up into state, like I said, doing those sort of cool things. We'll have a wicked video we'll watch later on.
Yes.
But we'll get into our questions.
Yep.
And we'll get fired up in those and knock them out.
All right, let's see how we go.
All right, questions are fired up. Time is ready.
Yep.
You ready?
Let's go.
All right, starting now. Who are you? Who's Miki? What's she all about?
Alrighty, so I am the Huntress, Miki Fortune, like you said beforehand, multi-time women's champion. Pretty much at this point in time, I'm just trying to go out there and kick ass. I really, as most people know, don't have much regard for my own safety, so I'm quite willing to do the most dumb shit possible. Anyone's like, hey, we've got this really cool idea, but it's potentially dangerous, they always forward it straight to me. But yeah, so just vibing at that at the moment. I think realistically, I know that I've only got few years left in me, going down at this 100 speed, and then time to kind of wind it down, so trying to go everywhere and do as much as possible in that time.
Awesome, that's great. When did you start wrestling?
I started at the ripe old age of 14 in 2009, I think it was. Yeah. 2009 was my debut year, so been a while.
But started very young, so you're still very young, which is good and bad, I guess, on the body, but favourite wrestler and why?
Oh, probably if I go, the first thing to come to my head, let's go with an old school one. So Gail Kim, big fan of Gail Kim. I think when she came into wrestling, at that point in time, she looked different, and she also immediately came in and just, started kicking ass right away. Watched a lot of WWE when I was younger, and I think also having that different representation was a big thing for me personally. So with my, ethnicity and all that kind of stuff, it was good to see somebody else out there who wasn't just generic standard white person number one, unfortunately. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, it was really cool. And then she was going out there doing all this flippy stuff, and I'm like, I can do that. That's great. So that was awesome.
Wicked answer. I love that. Favorite match of yours, if you can narrow it down to one.
I think, to be honest, my favourite match at this point was my match a few years ago against my husband, Zach Sabbath. That's probably the first one. It was just a really fun match. We obviously just gelled, funnily enough. But yeah, that was probably my favourite match, followed very closely by my recent death match at Dude Where's My Ring.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Your dream opponent in Australian wrestling at the moment?
Oh, that's a toughie. I think realistically, if I'm just going with, I'd probably say Delta at this point. I think it's, close to home, and it's someone who capitalised whilst I was away.
Absolutely.
Definitely I have a point to prove there, but I think also we would just, got very contrasting styles.
Yeah.
So we could do some really magical things in that.
I reckon that'll be main event anyway. I reckon that one. Most embarrassing moment in the ring.
Well, besides the obvious, I think my debut match, I literally had to stop myself from vomiting in the ring. If you watch the footage back, you see me at one point be like dry reaching.
Yeah.
I had to stop myself. That's probably my most embarrassing at this point. I'm very, very lucky that I haven't had any wardrobe malfunctions or anything along those lines. But yeah, that's probably my most embarrassing, because then I, did all that right in front of my family and boyfriend at the time. They're like, that was stupid. And I'm like, see.
Oh, well, it happens. It's a nervous time out there, so no, I get it. Current wrestling goals?
Wrestling goals, just want to travel everywhere. Hoping for some more interstate travel next year, and then also potentially some international travel.
Yeah, nice.
Trying to do as much as possible in the next few years and see how I go from there.
Yeah, wicked. That sounds good. A match type that you would never compete in?
A bra and panties match.
Good answer. Answer. And a match type that you would love to compete in that you haven't done?
That I haven't done. I would love to do a 5 stages of hell match.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that'd be really cool and really different.
Yeah.
It's not something that you see very often in Australian wrestling.
Yeah.
So I think given the right opponent, the right setting, it could be something really sick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. And in your opinion, what is wrestling missing today?
Selling of moves correctly.
Yeah.
I think there's too much no-sell kick out. In my opinion, I think that's what's really lacking, is like that essence of putting things over really, really well.
Yeah.
But also using it in the correct places.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's, to me, what's missing is when I see a match where the opening spot is a Canadian destroyer into a pile driver and then they kick out at one, it just immediately, I'm out.
Yeah, no, I get you. Nice, that's awesome. All right, and we're spot on the time. But bonus question.
Yes.
Obviously, Riot City is your current and home promotion. Excluding yourself, who are your top 3 wrestlers in Riot City at the moment?
Riot City currently, I would put Delta as obviously one of them. That's just broken so many barriers recently, which has been fantastic.
Yeah.
If I'm going with up and coming as well, I think Cutthroat's doing really well for himself.
Well, that's the second question.
So I threw that, didn't I? So yeah, Cutthroat, I think he's doing really well for himself. And then I think another one is... Oh, this is really hard. This puts you on the spot, doesn't it? I think Dean Brady.
Yeah, okay.
I think he's come a long way as well. And now he's really starting to, go into his stride, which is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there any other up-and-comers you got your eye on? Maybe around Australia or just at Riot City? Or?
Riot City, I've definitely got my eye on Vinny.
Yeah.
I think
the
once
young general.
Yes, the young general. I think once he gets into his groove a little bit more and kind of finds his niche, he's going to be a little bit more confident and more better off kind of thing, and you'll be able to see that in the ring a lot more. I can't say. There's just been so many. That's the problem. It's hard to keep up with everyone.
Yeah.
There's so many up and comers recently, and it's just it's really, really tricky.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, if they come against you, I'm sure you're going to smash them and sort them out, and welcome to the biz. That's awesome. So thank you for going through those questions there.
No worries.
So yeah, some awesome goals. Hopefully we can see you popping up around Australia more often next year, and hopefully in the overseas as well.
Yep.
And a match with you and Delta would be awesome to see.
Yes.
So hopefully get that going soon. I think she's got some priorities with a dog at the moment, so she's trying
to put a dog in a pound, I think.
Rid Riot City of some fleas, which we've all tried to do before. But no, that's awesome. So now we're going to look at some photos of your career.
Yep, alright.
And have a chat about them. So I'll get that up and going and we'll get into it.
No worries.
Alright, Miki, the photos are fired up.
Yep.
You ready?
Alright, let's go.
Don't look too nervous. Alright, we'll start with number 1.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right. So, this was just after I had come back from a previous injury when I was still working at PWSA.
Yeah.
Before I had jumped over to Riot City. I think at that point when I still would have been quite young. I think I'm maybe 19 at this point. 19.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, so when I was still in high school, so maybe, yeah. I don't even know. But yeah, so I think this was me jumping back into it. I was brought back in, told you're going to be the only heel out of the entire women's division.
Oh, wow.
Which I think comprised of maybe 3 or 4 of us at that point. Because, it is wrestling, whereas unfortunately at that point there was not many women.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that was me trying to figure out how to be a heel against Kira Summers at the time. So
Nice. Hopefully the timeline's not too out of whack, but we'll see what we got here.
Yep, another one there. God, how long was my hair? Jesus.
Interesting choice of gear as well.
Yes, very trash bagger at that point,
very
unfortunately.
heel looking gear.
Yes, I think all the other girls had quite colourful gear. And I was pretty much told, yep, you're only allowed to have black. And I'm like, cool, I don't have anything black. And then also back then, gear makers were not really a thing.
Yeah, okay,
so you had to kind of just source whatever you could. So,
yeah.
Do not recommend wrestling in leather pants. Not great.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. Far out, these are old. But yeah, that's me against Daisy Chain.
Nice.
At the point, I think. So we actually both started together. So, and then we both took time off and then both came back at the same time. So, yeah, right.
You would have been smashing out a lot of matches with PWSA and Snake Pit, sort of.
Yeah, so I think
they're doing a lot of shows.
Yeah, I think realistically at that point we're doing at least one show every week.
Yep.
Not including birthday parties or additional shows and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so a lot of ring time during those points. So it was really beneficial for me just getting back into it all.
Yeah.
I just had kind of just thrown into it. It's like, here you go.
Yeah. And do you recommend sort of starting at such a young age? Like, I know some places don't allow until a certain age now, but do you think starting at a younger age is better, or do you think
absolutely
wait?
Not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I would definitely say for people to wait until they're at least 16 or so, personally. I think starting that young, and even though I've had a lot of time off in between, that time off has been, like, when I was younger, it was due to injuries.
Yeah.
So a lot of problems with my hips, knees, and ankles, and that's purely just because the point where I was wrestling, and you know yourself, like, every bump is like a small car accident.
Yeah.
So things just break down quickly over time. You're still developing at that point too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that I'm gonna have to answer for when I'm older, I think, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely would recommend waiting until you're a little bit older.
For sure. I agree. I definitely agree, and I think you should wait until you're a little bit older and have some sort of sporting or athletic background behind you a little bit, just to get you in there and pick it up a little bit quicker so you don't get hurt. Here we go. Got some ladies tag team match.
Ladies tag team matches.
Look at that.
God, look how skinny I was. So different.
Who's the masked warrior?
Believe that was Izzy Shaw.
Oh.
That was Izzy Shaw coming over from Riot City at the time, because back then...
I missed that one on the Izzy episode.
Yeah, back then we didn't have as good of a cross-promotional integration as we do now.
Yeah.
Although that's a more recent thing, so I know I think at that point Izzy was coming over trying to get more matches, more experience, but wasn't allowed to show that they were Izzy Shaw.
Yeah, of course.
So that's where they came over as Zenidra. Don't know where that name came from, but came over as Zenidra. They were a bit of a mainstay for a while. Miss,
what's with your name? You're spelt different as well.
Yes. So when I first came back, my name has gone through so many changes over the years. One of them partially due to just announcer mispronunciation. So when I originally started wrestling, I was supposed to come out as Mickey May.
Okay.
Alright, so Mickey May, so it was going to be a shortened part of my first name and then my second first name.
Yeah.
And then the announcer, Luke Hazard, announced it during my debut match as Mickey Mayhem. And It's like, all right, guess I'm Mickey Mayhem now.
Yeah.
So then Mickey Mayhem for ages there, and then I got injured, went away for a while, and that's before I came back here. And then that's where I decided to go with Miss Miki Fortune, because I was really into League of Legends at that point in time.
Okay, yeah.
And there's a character called Miss Fortune, and I'm like, all right, that'd be pretty sick. And then I think at that point it was also where a American wrestler was called Mischief.
Okay.
And I was like, that's sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was Miss Miki Fortune, also spelled differently. And then I dropped the Mickey part for a while, so I was just Miss Fortune.
Okay, yeah.
And then it wasn't until I joined Gods and Monsters, because Grim and Brody would literally just call me Mickey out in the ring all the time and wouldn't call me Miss Fortune. And I was like, all right, am I just rebranding to Miki Fortune now?
Yeah.
They're like, yep, do it, because we can't call you anything else because we don't know you as anything else.
Yeah,
So I'm
that's
like,
fair.
all right. And then that's where I am now settled as Miki Fortune.
Nice.
So
I like it.
lots of changes.
No, that's good. That's good. That's what we want. We want to hear the history. Here's another photo.
Yeah, right. Announcing the first match of the female division, which comprised of, 4 of us. Yeah.
That's alright. At least you had some. It's good.
Yeah. I think it was all very interesting at that point, because we all had different styles and whatnot. And back then it was just throw the ladies out. Like...
Well, I think Melody's popped up back in ACW again.
Yes.
Not wrestling at the moment, but managing with Simple Simon. So still people getting around, which is good.
I don't actually think I ever had a match with Melody. Had matches with Daisy and Kira, but never had a match with Melody, which would be something interesting. ACW.
Yeah, ACW. I know they're watching. So let's get it going. Get her back in there.
Yep. So that's where we were very clearly trying to show that I was the heel of the division. Oh, the jeans with the knee-high boots, hey?
Look at that, jeez.
Yep.
They were really pumping it, weren't they?
They were. That's where I think at that point, I would have recently turned 18. Back then it was still a situation of like, we want women to show more skin and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So I was pretty much asked by the promoter, hey, can you get something a little bit more risque now that you're 18? And I'm like, no. But yeah, I think that's where like the first ones you show, I've got like the tied top and all that kind of stuff to show a little bit more skin, because that's what they wanted. But yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with showing skin. I do nowadays, but you just got to be confident with it.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, for a reason as well, not just because, hey, we want eyes, you know.
Yeah, right. So that was just a random thing that was thrown together as well, that I just all of a sudden had a manager that would come out every now and then. I think this was actually around the same time where I formed a team with Matt Hayter at that point, and Adam Crow, and we were called the New Black, I think. I was kind of just a situation of like, we need a female, here you go.
Yeah. And who's the manager?
That is Crimson.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't think they're doing anything with wrestling anymore. Their son used to be a wrestler.
Okay.
Can't remember what his name was, but he was also unfortunately one that got into it super young.
Yeah.
I think he was like 13. Got very injured very quickly. Yeah. And all that kind of stuff. But yeah. God, this guy's a time warp.
Weird gear looking there.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a Riot City group photo.
Where am I? Oh, there I am. Yeah, right.
You should be in there somewhere, I hope.
There I am. Next to Savannah Summers.
There you go.
And Dean Brady.
And is that Brooke? No, that's not Brooke. Who's that?
That is Jet Armstrong.
Jet Armstrong's hair.
Yep, Jet. So that was my technically that was my debut match at Riot City.
Oh, nice.
Before I had jumped over to Riot City.
Yeah.
Still working PWSA at this time, but so I'd done this match and a couple of their City Chick shows before I'd made a decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that was their one of the big shows kind of thing, because obviously the photo was taken. That's not done very often.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so that was my debut match. I think I was in an 8-woman tag match.
Oh, wow. Well, there's plenty of female wrestlers there.
Yeah, so there was a few. I think obviously we had a couple of interstaters. So we had Kellyanne and Harley Wonderland.
Yeah.
But then everybody else was Riot City.
Who's the big muscly dude at the back here?
That is Josh Shooter. We don't talk about Josh Shooter.
Right. All good. No, big crop of people though. You got a lot of legends of the game there, and a lot of them have gone to bigger things. Here's the gear.
Yeah, it's the gear. So that was a bit different. I think that one, honestly, like I said, gear makers back then weren't as much of a thing as they are nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was just something I'd bought online on a costume shop. It actually held up for ages. But I think it was actually inspired by a Beyonce look, funnily enough. Nice. But yeah, it was also very uncomfortable to wear. Amazingly, didn't have any wardrobe malfunctions in it because it was also very cheap.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I suppose if it's a costume or a dance costume or something, then it's designed to maybe stay up. So
withhold a little bit, not too much though.
Very interesting though. Here we go, City Chicks. Here it is.
City Chicks. So 2014.
Look at
that one there.
2014. Wow.
Yeah, so we got a lot there. Obviously got Rhea Ripley in the background there. Vixen, Flame, Miami, Blair Alexis.
Wow, look at them all.
Yeah,
Savannah, Izzy.
Lulu, Tony Storm.
Ah, yes.
Right there. Siren Monroe.
Alright.
And I can't remember what her name was. Something Shinobi. Was the one next to me in the blue.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I think that was my debut for City Chicks.
And that was an all-female show?
All-female
run
show.
by Riot City?
Yeah. So I think that was a really cool thing at the time that they did. Helped bring a lot of people over. I think they've done 2 or 3 of them. I think I've been a part of 2 of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was injured for the 3rd one.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I think I would really love to see another one of these. I know there's a couple of places around the country that do all women's shows.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think stuff like this would be really cool as well. And,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, women's wrestling has just gone to a different caliber in recent times, so it'd be really cool to see, especially those that are still wrestling on this picture here.
Yeah, yeah.
How much everyone's evolved and changed.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it'd be awesome to get another show, get a photo, and look at it in sort of 10 years and go, look at that.
Here we go. There was my promotional picture. I think I actually wrestled Izzy Shaw on this show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And the gloves, do you wear the gloves in the ring? No.
Yes, I did. Yeah. It was like gloves and boots and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow. All out.
Very interesting. Then it started peeling and it wasn't great.
It's alright. It was a good initiative there by Riot City to run that. Oh, here's your team.
There we go. That was our little team. Matt Hayter, Adam Crow and me.
I really need a rule on here that every time his name's spoken, we have a shot.
Gonna take a shot, yeah.
He gets brought up too much and his head gets too big about it.
Problem is that he's like an STD, he's just everywhere.
Yeah. He keeps blocking my calls to come on here, but that's alright. We'll sort him out one day.
You'll get him here eventually. Maybe, just drag him in.
Yeah, I might have to. I'll have to trick him in here somehow.
But yeah, I think we were doing that for a little while. So... I don't know if you probably haven't got the picture on here, but my last ever match at PWSA or Snake Pit that it was called at the time was against Matt Hayter.
Oh, wow.
So we were in a no DQ match. And that is the one where he gigged and did it way too wrong, way too deep, and now he's got a massive scar on his forehead and there was just blood everywhere. I'm like, this is great.
Great.
But this is after I had hard weighed in a previous match, which was a tables match against Daisy Chain.
Oof. Jesus.
Yeah.
I think I have some of those coming up.
We'll
see how they go.
We'll see. There we go. Teams again. Like,
what a fun.
Given everything, this timeline was really what was allowing me to do a lot more intergender wrestling and stuff like that. Because there also wasn't a lot of women.
Yeah.
And then being able to do, it was also a good introduction for me to be able to do tag team stuff as well.
Nice.
So, yeah, I think, and because we were working so much, it was just getting your reps in.
Yeah.
So it was really beneficial for me. Pretty much like, obviously, you know, I got injured again a couple more times, and then, you know, coming back, it's really put all those stones into place. That way when I have been injured and come back into, I'm not starting from scratch.
Yeah,
I've
absolutely.
got those fundamentals
Got that
sitting
experience.
there.
Yeah. No, that's wicked. There you go, MCW.
MCW back in 2014.
Look at that.
So this was this gear was my first ever wrestling gear. But this was back from when I debuted in like 2009, 2010.
Oh, wow.
This is back when I was Mickey Mayhem. I got to the show, I was told the entire time that you're going to be a heel, you're going to be a heel. So I'm like, okay, my current black gear is fine.
Yeah.
I get there and I'm told, no, you're the face. And I'm like, what do I do? So luckily I had packed this gear as well because I was prepared just in case. Did not fit right. And so that was great. But yeah, 2014, yeah, right. And I think on this show I wrestled Savannah Summers.
Go all the way to Melbourne.
All the way to Melbourne to wrestle Savannah Summers again.
You look pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
So,
There
there she is, yeah.
Yep.
Far out.
Crazy.
Look at that. There we go. What's
that
this?
one?
New Age Wrestling.
New Age Wrestling. That's right. That was Melbourne. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I went over to them. So at this point in time, I think this would have also been like 2014, 2015 maybe.
Yeah.
I was doing a fair amount of interstate travel, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
I think on this show I wrestled a lass called Minzy Montana, who's no longer wrestling, I don't believe.
Okay. Yeah.
But this was, my introduction to this promotion. Don't think they're around anymore either, but I'm not sure.
No, I haven't heard of them.
Yeah. But this was, just getting my reps in.
Nice.
Going into state, I think it was
Well, that's pretty good for such early in the career, getting in state and getting all these sort of connections and reps in, so that's awesome.
really, really good. I think as well, this was my first time being away without anybody else from like Riot City.
Okay, yep.
And being interstate pretty much completely by myself.
Yeah. They're the ones that you cherish when you're out there by yourself and grinding through it.
There we go. That was one of probably the first times that I'd done a big top rope crossbody in one of my matches. And looked alright. She did not catch me correctly, unfortunately, and got a bit of whiplash and didn't protect herself, but apparently it looked really cool, so that's the main thing.
You've got a cool photo, so that looks pretty good. Yeah, she's looking a bit unsure of herself there. But that's okay.
Yeah.
There you go, back into the PWSA.
Yeah, so this would have been my debut match.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure.
There you go.
This is my debut match, so that's obviously me in the purple and gold. Daisy Chain, who I'm wrestling, and then Blair Alexis as the referee.
Nice.
Yeah. So this was, I think my first ever match. We wrestled at the Playford Civic Centre as my first match on one of the main shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the purple was a good prequel for what sort of happened now, the gear.
Well, so coming back this time, I deliberately said to the gear maker, I'm like, look, let's start from the beginning. Let's go with the purple with the purple velvet with the gold and see how we go.
Nice. That's wicked.
Oh, gosh.
Family fun day.
Family fun day.
Oh, look at some people on that one.
Stockdale Tavern. Yeah, right. Family fun day.
The tavern?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. There's a petting zoo.
Petting zoo, there's jumping castle, all that kind of stuff.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Need one of them again.
It's back in these days where, because it would be the same as like any festival show realistically, but we would just be wrestling the whole time. There would be no intervals where you'd like have 2 matches then stop for an hour.
Wow, really?
Just going the whole time. And it was on these ones where you didn't really have time to plan stuff either.
Yeah,
so you just gotta go out there and be like, what are we doing? Like,
shit.
Definitely getting my reps in at this time.
I'll have to give PWSA a call and get one of those going again. That'll be sick. There we go.
Yep. That's new gear again.
Change it up again.
So I actually had to get that gear, who I just bought off someone for $20 who had made it and then had no one else to give it to because the other gear broke. And I'm like, yes. Like as I was zipping it up and they're like, look, I've got this. You got $20? Yep, paid for it, done. Put that gear on. Was fine.
Easy as.
I think this was actually me going into my feud with Matt Hayter. I think that is him right there.
I think so, yeah.
For me leaving. Snake Pit or PWSA.
Yeah, wow.
So that's right, yeah. 2 different shows. So FNM was Friday Night Fights, and then SNM was Saturday Night Showdowns.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was when that was all set up.
A lot of matches.
Lots of matches.
Yeah, you got a
Yep.
title belt? Did you steal that or did you win that?
I stole it.
Stole it? Ah, there we go.
So that was me. That's the Australian Women's Championship, who I think it was held by Kira Summers at the time. And yeah, I think that was just a random match where it was like, hey, you're wrestling for this? I'm like, alright, cool. And then just, yeah, trying to have fun with it. Still trying to... I think this is where I was transitioning after coming back from being a heel to back to a face.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's just me trying to... This looks good on me! Like, that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Trying to find your way, figure it out.
Yeah, trying to figure it all out again. Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
So this was from my first ever gimmick match. So this was a tables match, which for some reason we also incorporated a whole bunch of other weapons into because no one told us otherwise.
As you do.
As you do. So that was also the story about, like, I was always going to bleed in this match. What had happened is we'd set the table up. I was on the outside on the apron, and Daisy Chain, who I was wrestling, was on the inside. Set the table leg up. I was climbing like I was getting back up again, and she drop kicked it.
Ooh.
Now, I had not put my hand up correctly to protect myself, and it just hit me straight in the head.
Oh.
But I didn't realise at the time. So what have I done? I've also gone to cut on top of that. So then I'm just absolutely covered in blood. Not realising that I'd hard weight on top of it. So that was fantastic. And that's, yeah, thumbtacks in the background.
Thumbtacks, of course.
Yep. So, because I'm pretty sure I got power bombed onto them.
Oh,
so that was great.
Oh, exactly what you want.
Yep, Sunday Night Slam. That was an extra one that they used to do.
Izzy Shaw it is.
Me and Izzy Shaw have a long history of wrestling each other.
Yeah, I bet. Far out.
Many, many years.
Jeez, future stars of Snake Pit Wrestling. Nice.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep, there we go.
The blood.
All the blood.
Oh,
So,
wow. Jesus.
That was a time. Interesting time.
There definitely is a lot of blood.
Yeah, see, I didn't go to the hospital, didn't do anything for that one there. I just kind of went, like, cleaned myself up, went home, slept. That was fine. I was like, alright, this is fine. I think, unfortunately, I had my younger siblings in the crowd at that point as well.
Oh, wow.
And they were quite young at that time. And seeing all this, they came backstage crying, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine whilst I'm still bleeding. It's okay. But, no.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, can't go to the hospital, they're staying over my house tonight, so...
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's Johnny Radic.
John E. Radic.
Wow.
So a fair few matches with Johnny over the years as well. So this was back when the Empire had started again for the 5th time. And so we were doing a whole big separation. So I was on Team Snake Pit and Johnny was on Team Empire.
Yeah.
So I think that was one of those matches again where you just go out there and you had to call stuff. Nothing was really planned. You just had to do the best you could.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right.
Far out. Good old Johnny. Here we go. RCW match.
RCW. So this was my debut match for Riot City, but it was again my debut after I had jumped over to Riot City.
Okay.
So I was no longer with PWSA as one of their wrestlers. I was now Riot City.
Yeah.
Been training for a little while. And that's, you can see in the script it says, free agent signed by Tom Byrne, RCW GM at the time.
Nice.
So I went over for this match. We were opener, and I think Savannah at that point was still the longest reigning RCW Women's Champion.
Yep.
And then I came in on my debut match and won the belt.
Nice.
So that was a very big what the fuck moment for everyone. Because, they're thinking someone random, it's just going to go back to Savannah. I won the belt, and then that started my first title reign as RCW Women's Champion.
Nice. What made your decision to go over to RCW? Sort of what?
I think at that point there was more opportunity.
Yep.
I think for me there was also a lot more women there at that point, because intergender wrestling was still slowly on the build up, but
Yeah,
not really. So it gave me more people to wrestle, more opportunities. I think as well how they presented themselves at that point was really good.
Yeah.
Zach had already jumped over at that point too.
Yeah,
I think I stayed at Snake Pit for another 6 months, and then I decided to jump over.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, obviously one of the best decisions I've made.
Yeah, of course, because right there.
There we go. Won the belt. I actually wasn't even going to take that photo because I've got zero clue about social media and how to market myself. But it wasn't until a couple of the other people was like, oh, you need to take a photo with the belt. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I just took that photo, which was great.
Nice one. That was a good photo. You got the title. There's you winning it. Is it or?
Yeah, so that's me winning it.
Yeah.
So my parents have only ever come to watch 2 matches in my entire wrestling career.
Oh, wow.
They refused to watch, which is fair enough. You don't want to see, your kid in pain.
Yeah.
So that match was the first match they've ever come to see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. First match they ever came to see. Second one is when I came back after having my daughter.
Okay, yeah.
So they saw that match. But yeah, so they were all... I hadn't told anybody what was going on or anything like that. So they were all pretty blown away, which was awesome.
Amazing.
And then never came back afterwards. But
good one to come to though. That's wicked. And Riot City Women's Champion at the Latvian Hall.
Yes.
What an amazing venue.
It was a fantastic venue.
That's wicked.
Sadly we can't get in there anymore, but...
Yeah, unfortunately. It would be nice to get back in there.
There we go. That's when I first started using the frog splash. Nice. Top rope frog splash as a finish as well. Good height.
Very good. Yeah, look at that. Packed crowd.
Yeah, it was definitely, at that point, it was the biggest crowd I'd ever worked in front of as well.
Yeah.
So very nerve-wracking, but I think we did well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you definitely did well. You came out with a belt, so...
Alrighty.
Here we go.
Yep, so this is... So after I won the women's championship, I had to vacate it due to injury. So I had pretty much torn all the ligaments and tendons in my knee. So they were like, you're going to need time off, decent amount of time. Took a while off, and then I also took time off to... I think I was still going through school at that point or something along those lines. So finished schooling, and then I was also like, just take a step back, try and pursue other things.
Yeah.
But always had the itch to go back into it. So this was me returning after that time, back when we were at the old gym.
Yeah,
Coghlan Street.
Good place.
I think for me, it was myself, Savannah, and Blair all coming back at the same point, because even though they weren't off due to any reasons, they just weren't wrestling.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we all came back at the same point, and then I can't remember who was the champion at the time or anything like that. But yeah, so that was a few years ago. A fair few years ago now.
Yeah, moves on now. There we go, a bit of a change of the gear.
Change of the gear again. I think this is when I started dyeing my hair red and all that kind of stuff. It's weird seeing me without the other tattoos.
Yeah.
So much younger.
Alright, and the mask and stuff.
Yeah, I think this is slightly after this is where I started introducing the Hanaya mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I was trying to find a different look as well.
Yeah.
One of my whole big things with my gear for ages and ages, and even really still till this day, is that I don't have a lot of black in my gear, if any at all.
Okay, yeah.
Especially at that point in time, everyone's gear was black. So I'm like, I need something else to make me stand out more. So that's where I went with no black whatsoever.
Nice.
So it was, white, gold and red for ages there. And it worked. Made me stand out.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to stand out, get the eyes on you so people remember you and go from there.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is one of my first times after I don't think I'd actually joined Kings of Ruin properly at this point. It was after one of these matches. But that was a great time. I didn't have a choice in that, by the way. I was just standing there, and then Grim comes up behind me and just picks me up on his shoulders in the ring. And I'm like, I'm really tall right now.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You can change the light bulb up there.
No choice whatsoever.
Shit.
But yeah, that was a really, really fun time, and I really thank both of them for teaching me a lot.
Yeah. It was a wicked team. Absolute killer team.
Yeah.
There you are, coming out with Gods and Monsters.
Yeah, I think that's, I started introducing the Hanaya mask there. And yeah, just fit fit the mould. It was really a lot of fun. Sadly, we didn't get to do a mass amount together, like tag team wise or anything like that. But when we did, it was always a lot of fun. I think we had a few different 6-man matches against the rude ones at the point.
Yeah, yep.
Then a couple of others, and then I remember I had a match against the Armstrongs with Grim because Brody was injured.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Nah, wicked team. Very good. There we go.
I remember trying to we were like practicing this as well. So what you don't see is Brody in front of Grim on his hands and knees.
Okay.
So I just did like a step, jump, forearm to the guy in the corner. It was a lot of fun. It was something different as well at that time. It wasn't the generic tag team stuff, which is what we were trying to practice and get across, was just doing different things.
Yeah,
and that's where the like size difference helped as well, because they could literally just pick me up and throw me at people.
Yeah.
So it was fine.
Use you as a weapon.
Yeah, pretty much. Happened more than once.
Yeah, I bet. That's wicked.
Yeah, I think that's HQ.
HQ, yeah.
Yeah, so, God, a long time ago.
How'd you find that venue?
Really cool. I think, obviously, production-wise, it was sensational.
Yeah.
Bit tricky, though, with, like, the tiers and all that kind of stuff. I think
trying
to... crowd interaction wasn't as loud as it normally is as well.
Okay,
I think, unfortunately, because it is a club, we had to run shows on the Friday nights, and being in the middle of the city, a lot of families didn't want to bring their kids, which is more than fair enough.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, it made it a little bit tricky, but they were still phenomenal shows. They always were. I think upstairs there was just like a little box where you had to get changed. But nah, lots of fun.
Yeah, definitely a wicked venue for that.
There we go. I think, that's my entrance. The
there,
Gods and Monsters entrance was always sick as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Just, got you right vibing for it. It was fantastic.
Here you are, taking out Jet, is it?
Yeah, Jet. This was the match where I stepped in for Brody, who was injured, and just absolutely cleaned Jet up with the Doomsday. More than Brody normally would, but was hilarious. The slap you got from it as well was fantastic. I think I just took his head off, but it was great. Still complains about it to this day.
Nah,
but
he complains about a lot of things, that old Jeff.
There we go.
Winning the belt back again?
Yeah, so back at HQ, won the Women's Championship for the second time against Indy Hartwell.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think all 4 of us pictured there. That was a whole night of all different title changes.
Okay, yeah.
So all different title changes. So pretty sure Rocky won it from Zach.
Yeah.
And the Pareja won it from the Rude Ones.
Okay.
No, the Gods and Monsters, I think, at that point.
Ah, right.
But yeah, it was great because Zach and I were champions together for all of 30 seconds because I won my match and then he went out for his match.
Oh, shit.
And didn't win, so...
Close.
Very close. There we go.
Versus Zach.
Sub-Zero. That notorious promotion as it was.
What an event, hey?
Yeah. That was a really fun match. I think we had a lot of fun with it. Hard to get the crowd into it at certain points because, like I said, at this point, intergender wrestling had just kind of really started blossoming.
Yeah.
But then because a lot of people knew that we were husband and wife as well, which is only recent at that point. I think we'd been together for about 7 years at that point and no one really knew.
Okay.
Yeah. But then they posted it as husband versus wife and we're like, well, guess it's a thing now.
Shit.
We had a lot of fun with it. We wanted to make it a bit more of a comedy match because a lot of the other matches on the card were very serious. So did something else. But I think Zach was wearing a dress at one point, so that was great. But yeah, really fun match. I don't actually think you can find it anywhere to watch. I had little snippets on my social medias.
I think that promotion got buried.
Yes,
deep.
very much so. There we go.
Another picture with the belt.
With the belt, promo pictures after winning it, I think.
Nice.
very different look nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. It's changed a bit.
Yeah.
But like you said, though, that definitely stood out.
Yeah, I think that was...
At the time.
Yeah,
so.
the main thing was standing out. And even with trying to have a gimmick such as the Huntress, I needed something to stand out more with it as well.
Yeah.
That's where it was kind of introducing a bit more different vibes. So that's where I've got like the face paint, because a lot of things it was just like, you know, normal makeup. So like, all right, make this stand out a little bit more. Having my hair up and back was also different, because a lot of women just had their hair down.
Yeah, okay.
So having it like out of my face was very beneficial.
Yeah,
I was swallowing it the whole time. But yeah, it was just a different look, different vibe. And I think that's really helped me over the years, which has been great.
Yeah, obviously. Standing out and keeping the eyes on you. So it was a good choice. It's awesome. Here we go.
So this was after the infamous ankle break. So pretty sure at this point I'd already been in hospital for a little while. I was in hospital for a week in total, which is actually a lot less than what they were expecting.
Oh wow, shit.
When I initially got in there, they were telling me 2 weeks minimum. Because I, you know, had completely shattered my ankle kind of thing. It was not good.
No.
Completely shattered it. They're like, we need to wait for a whole bunch of the swelling to go down before we can even do surgery.
Shit.
So I was just in the orthopedics ward for, I think 6 days before they did the surgery. I think, this would have been 4 or 5 days in. Couldn't, like, you can't really do much. That's the thing. I was just in bed for a week straight, and then afterwards on bed rest after surgery. So I think I actually had to get my sister to come in and put my hair up for me, because, you know, couldn't really shower properly or anything like that either, because you just got so many tubes and stuff in and out of you as well. But positivity.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you made it through. That's the main thing.
Yeah, there we go.
Putting in the brackets.
Yep, half a Bunnings store in my leg.
Far out.
Still got all that in there.
Shit.
So, but it's actually getting to the point now where, because I can't re-injure the same thing again unless it's a new injury. Yeah. But I can actually feel some of the screws and all that through the skin, and you can see them as well. Yeah. And then like, if I flex my shins and stuff like that, you can see the bar. It's pretty brutal, pretty funny.
Oh, it's fucked.
But yeah, interesting times. Very happy that they knock you out for all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course. And obviously, it's the worst injury you've ever had.
Oh, absolutely. Of course. I think it was definitely just one of those freak accidents, really. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I was doing something dumb to get it, but...
No, I blame Tony Toro for it.
Toro. There we go.
You're in your moon boot.
In my moon boot, trying to get back into the gym, wearing jeans, because I think I just went straight from work.
Well, it's all upper body with that.
Yeah,
with a
pretty
moon
much.
Boot,
Can't do anything else at that point. But yeah, I think it was pretty much as soon as I could start moving around, I was doing my ankle rehab and then just trying to stay fit, because even in that week that I was in the hospital, I lost like 5 kilos.
Yeah, wow.
Dropped right back down. So just trying to build anything up again. But yeah, it was an interesting time.
Definitely. A good old gym there. Missed that one.
There we go.
There you go. You got far out. Look at the hair.
I know. I love that hair.
And got some merch there as well.
Yes, that was my first ever t-shirt. So this was after I've been cleared to come back. That was at HQ again. And that was me just going out there and beating the fuck out of Tony Toro. But yeah, the hair was brilliant.
That's cool.
Loved it. It was a long process to get all that done. But yeah, it was fantastic. And I kept it in for ages. Yeah. As long as you really can with protective styles. Yeah. But yeah, everyone would comment about it. It was very heavy. Very, very heavy. And washing it was a nightmare.
Oh, I bet. Looks good though.
Yeah.
Very good.
Ah.
Female Wrestler of the Year, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, look at that. Nice.
So, first time I won that, I think. Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise as well. Yeah. Didn't really expect it, because I think I'd only recently just come back.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I was very, very honoured because I think at that point it was Female Wrestler of the Year and then Gods and Monsters won Tag Team of the Year.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, so
nice.
we all won things at the same time, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Really weird to see me in something other than gym clothes, jeans, or wrestling gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I scrub up okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a great achievement, winning that and winning the tag team as well. So, what an awesome achievement.
Yeah.
So good.
Very nice.
There it is.
Yes. Great angle.
Falling to her demise. Look at that.
Yeah, I think luckily for me, well maybe not luckily, it's probably something bad, but whenever I get injured, I generally can't actually feel the pain.
Okay, yeah.
So I knew immediately after I had landed that I'd broken my ankle. I hadn't even looked at it at this point because it was sideways.
Yeah.
But I knew immediately because I couldn't feel it.
Wow, yeah.
And that's where the refs come over to me and he's like, hey, you okay? I'm like, nah, I've broken my ankle. I think out of that entire situation, I was the most calm person dealing with it all. But yeah, I was like, nah, I've broken my ankle. And he's like, what do I do? And I'm like, you just stay here for a minute. We wait for this to be finished and then you take me backstage. I was like, I can't put any pressure on. I can't walk. If you see the footage, you can see even when I land that my ankle is just sideways. So I can't do anything. I remember getting behind the curtain and there's Grim and Brody standing there and they're like, what's happened? I'm like, I broke my ankle. And they're like, nah, you haven't, it'll be okay. They sat me up on this table and Brody's grabbed my ankle thinking that it's just dislocated and trying to put it back into place, and all we just hear is crunching like as if you've got a bag of broken glass.
What the hell? Why would you do that?
And then we've looked at each other and we're like, that's not spraying or dislocated. And he's like picked me up and taken me downstairs.
Oh shit.
But yeah.
Far
Good
out.
picture, that one.
Yeah, no, great picture. Good old Toro.
There we go. And that was me 2020. You're right.
There we go.
That was my first match back after breaking my ankle and going back, which actually got postponed due to COVID.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that one did. Yeah.
So this one got postponed due to COVID. I think I actually ended up wrestling my first match in August is when we were back.
I think maybe the next one is your return, I reckon.
Yeah. So that was this match, was August, I think. So going out there, because Toro had just taken my belt, changed it to the great all the time championship. So yeah, that was my first match back after breaking my ankle, which was good. It was nerve-wracking.
How were the nerves going into that?
Well, it was probably one of the most nervous, career moments for me. Because you train as much as you want and all that kind of stuff, but until you're in that actual situation, you don't know how something's going to hold up. I also didn't know how I would be going back into wrestling, just as, wrestler all around. Would I get out there and roll it incorrectly? You don't want to stop a match again. A lot of things going through my head, but we got through it. It was all fine. I think there was a couple of things in that match where I'm like, all right, I've got to change how I do this or change how I do that, because even though it was fully healed at that point, I can't injure it. And even to this day, I still have moments where I'll land slightly incorrectly. And I know that it's just jolted things wrong. So a couple points in that match, even running the ropes, I was like, okay, I've got to change up slightly how I run the ropes. So yeah, it was a good time though. Very fun.
That's awesome.
There we go. So this was after I had my daughter.
Okay,
So, pretty sure this is where I just started training again after having my daughter.
Nice.
Still would be a while before I would actually get back into the ring for a match. But yeah, I think I, just started slowly getting into the groove of it again, trying to figure out my body this time, because funnily enough, at this point versus the last time I was out, I weighed more than I never weighed before. So I think when I was pregnant, I put on 20 kilos.
Wow.
So I was still trying to figure out, okay, I'm a bit heavier than I'm used to. There's some things that aren't going to work as well anymore than I used to do. But yeah, that was at the new gym as well. Obviously, this was kind of the first time that I'd really debuted my short hair.
Yeah, yeah.
Previously, for all of my life, I had hair down to my waist, kind of thing. And then we did the charity stream for Grimm.
Yep.
And one of the things, if we reached a certain point, that I would cut my hair off.
Oh wow, yeah.
We reached that in like an hour and a half. So then I've mistakenly I've let Zach cut my hair to begin with, and then I've gone to the hairdresser. They're like, we don't know how to fix this, and I'm like, well, just do what you can. So yeah, that was first time with short hair. Obviously, new gym, trying to figure everything out, but here we are now.
Yeah, exactly. I must say, just touching on the last ones of Toro, I was a big fan of that feud.
I'm glad.
I was really invested into that, and I really enjoyed that feud with you and Toro. So
I think it was good, something different as well.
Yeah. And taking the belt and stuff like that, I think that was really cool. And the matches you guys and the promos and stuff. So I think that was something you guys should be proud of. You made something out of a shit situation with the ankle, but it was able to turn into something really cool. So
thank you.
No, I was really into that one.
Here we go.
Gear
Recent
again.
times. New gear, new look, new hair. I think, so this was my return match at the Rumble last year.
Yeah.
Well, not match, but my return at the Rumble last year. So, obviously, changed up the look again, because I wanted just a lot of things had happened in my wrestling career and life and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, all right, let's just completely revamp.
Yeah.
Still went back to nodding back to the original, so the purple velvet and gold.
Yeah.
All that, but was going out there. I honestly, I did not expect the reaction that I got.
Yeah. Okay.
Not in the slightest. I kind of figured I'd been out for quite some time at that point. A lot of the fans were newer fans. Yeah. So in my head, it's like no one knows
who you are,
who I am, nor should they, anything along those lines. So I was expecting to go out there to crickets.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've gone out there, and luckily enough for me, like everyone's just erupted.
Nice.
And it was moments there where I'm like, pretty sure in that exact moment I'm trying to hold back tears because I just wasn't expecting it.
I guess that's every wrestler's worst nightmare, is they take time off and they get forgotten about, because there's no off season, it's just constantly moving, so
you're just always on the go.
There's wrestlers coming in and out, so to be lost in the shuffle and the fear that you're going to get forgotten, it's great that you've come out to a good reaction. Yeah,
it was really, really nice. And kind of, definitely helped solidify that I still want to do this for a while.
Yeah.
Because I think at that point it was still a bit of a up in the air.
Yeah.
Not really sure if, how much longer I'm going to be doing it for, but I was like, maybe a year kind of thing. But it solidified. Going out there, I was like, I can still do this. I can still go for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So good. Gods and Monsters, but with someone else.
With someone else. Chris Basso. Yes. But this was my first match back. This is a battle for supremacy against Purgatory.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
This is where I had that fun top rope Frankensteiner on Baron, where I was like an extra however many feet in the air.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a good match. Yeah, good match. Had a lot of fun. Again, it was... I'm my worst critic on everything. Super harsh on myself all the time, which is almost self-sabotaging. But I think at this point in time, I was like, okay, I can still do this. Obviously, I had a lot of ring rust. And I was fully aware of that. And I think realistically, the match that we had was a perfect back introduction rather than trying to go into a singles or anything along those lines. So it was really good, really fun. And just realizing that there is no feeling like being out there. It's just something in its own league.
No, that's awesome. It's good that you got back out there and felt good and wanted to keep going. Here we go. Something from Perth, is it?
From Perth. Dude, where's my ring? So this is my first ever death match.
Oh, wow.
So...
And no ring either.
No ring. All on concrete. It's not soft. But... So, people that have been following me for a while, and obviously other wrestlers, like I said beforehand, know that not really afraid to do anything or try anything. I'm quite willing to, you know, put my body on the line and do the dumbest shit possible. So, like, doing a death match was something I'd always been interested in.
Oh, wow.
I've always been interested in doing more gimmick matches and all that kind of style, because it's also not something that you would see very often.
Yeah, of course.
So like, the few that I'd done beforehand were very small, like very limited, whereas like, okay, this I can go a bit harder. And the people at Dude Where's My Ring, like the atmosphere, because it's just in a bar. Yeah. Your ring is the concrete floor, and then 4 wine barrels with caution tape around it. Yeah. And it really helps you. Obviously, you've got to maneuver because nobody wants to land on concrete, so you've got to kind of, you know, you've got to think a bit more about what you're going to do. You can't just go out there and run a normal match. Yeah, of course. Obviously, there's weapons and all that kind of stuff as well, but I think we had a great time of making it a bit more of a hybrid match rather than just a death match. But I went out there and said goodbye to my husband and my daughter. I'm like, I'm gonna come back bloody. But it was a lot of fun.
It's insane. Nice gear choice, RCW shirt, real retro.
That was after the match. Lots of fun, that one there. And big props and respect to Felix Young. Yeah, of course. Phenomenal worker who I think is severely underrated.
Yeah, he's been coming over here a bit lately, which is good.
Him and Jared Slade. Brilliant. But yeah, I think that was really good introduction for me. And because I was a bit nervous going over there. Like, you're going to have nerves no matter what. Going over there, I've never been to Perth before.
Okay,
First time ever going to Perth. First time in a death match. And we were the main event.
Shit.
I was like, there is a lot.
And no ring and everything. Oh, shit.
You don't really know what to expect. That's the thing, like, you're aware of what you're getting yourself into, but, like, I've never gone through light tubes before. I don't know what that feels like. Like, I've never been, you know, had a staple gun to my head. And it's not until you're out there that you've really got to either rely on that adrenaline or figure something out.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's insane.
Oh, yeah. That was recently. So trying to build my body up a little bit more. In recent times. Definitely, it's the age for bigger, stronger looking women.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's something that I've always been interested in, but never really had the opportunity. Whereas now, you know, going to the gym is just realistically, it's one of the only times I get to myself.
Yeah, of course. It's a nice escape.
So it's nice to just go there and lift. And obviously, I've been working with a nutritionist for the last year as well.
Oh, nice.
Because nutrition was always my downfall. When it came to trying to put on muscle. Got a nice little bruise there as well on my leg. But yeah, just trying to get bigger and stronger.
No, looking good. Got the guns out.
Thanks.
You're going to need them against Delta one day.
Oh, one day.
Here's your mate Cutthroat you're talking about.
I was very happy with that match. I think, definitely has a lot of potential, that one. But,
he's got to stop breaking fingers and
I know, stop breaking people's fingers. Unsafe.
Unsafe worker.
Here we go.
Here's
the new
the crew.
Version of Kings of Ruin.
Look at them.
Havoc and I are clearly the body guys.
Obviously. Got a skinny little boomer.
It's going to be,
just dead.
I think we're all just trying not to be angry old people at this point.
Well, look at the years of experience. Like, all of you guys have been doing it for so long, wrestling so long, and what a team of experience. So, it's very dangerous team coming up.
Insane as well, because so Havoc, showing how old he is, Havoc's debut year I was in kindy, so that was great. But my the people who trained me were Zach Sabbath and Mike Boomer. They're my trainers. And obviously, you know, Zach is my husband and Boomer is probably my best friend. So it was just a natural progression for this one here, but I'm really interested to see what's gonna come of it and what mischief we're going to get into realistically.
It's going to be an insane time with that crew running around. Here we go.
Yes.
The old guard, Kings of Ruin, Miki Fortune.
A lot of fun. This is before we'd officially merged
up,
us as
yeah,
kings,
yeah. At the big shed as well.
Big shed. What a vibe. It was great.
Amazing environment.
Fantastic environment. This was a really fun match as well. It was good with us just not yelling at each other. But nah, really gelled well, and I think because we all know each other and have known each other for so long, there's just things like we'll just look at each other and know what to do and what the other one's doing. Yeah. Just feel very comfortable in this group. And I think that's only going to boost my confidence realistically, which is going to be great. And then hopefully get the other guys doing some more stuff, maybe interstate as well.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, take the team everywhere.
Yeah.
No, that'd be
Travel
wicked.
Band.
That's awesome. All right. So that's brought us to the end of the photos.
Yes.
Thank you for looking at those and telling us the stories and the history.
Just rambling.
It's awesome. It's amazing to see all that, and amazing to hear all of your stories and your history behind that. So, such a long career already, and still heaps to go. So I look forward to what you're doing next. But I've got something special coming up soon. Yep. So a little video. I'm gonna get that fired up, and then we'll get into it.
Yes, absolutely.
Easy. All right, Miki. So we've got a video we're going to watch. You'll know it as soon as you see it, but this blows my mind every time I watch it. So I figure we're going to put it on and have a chat about it. Yeah. When I find it. Alright. It is this video here. Yeah. Alright, let's play it. Kick to the dick, kick to the head, and then
over. I was the smuggest person on the planet in that moment.
Does not give a shit. Was he about to staple something to your head or what?
He had a gusset plate that was going to punch into my head.
Yuck. Oh, wow. That is insane.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so good.
I think...
How does that even happen? How do you land on the chair perfectly on the ground?
It was just one of those crazy things that, like I said, going over there, it was like first time deathmatch, first time made it, like, event realistically and all that kind of stuff, where I'm like, we need something. Had a few other cool moments in there as well, but that just topped it. Realistically, I don't think it's ever been done before.
I've never seen something like that.
I think even like watching movies, nothing like that's been done before. No. But yeah, so my hands were like taped to the chair, and that's the thing. So like taped to the chair the whole time, so I couldn't rely on any of that. But yeah, just landing, you can immediately see in my face where I'm like, we fucking did it. Like, because we were so worried that the chair leg was going to collapse. Or
dong someone.
Oh
man,
it was insane. And like I said, if you like listen to the video, like if you watch it on YouTube, it's just eruption. People just in disbelief, just like, what the fuck did we just witness?
I'll put the link to the video in the description, guys. So click on it and watch it with the sound up. It's insane, but what an awesome video to finish that on. But I'd love for you now to plug any social media. I'll have all the links in the description. Absolutely. But any social media, merch, shows you have coming up.
Yep. So
this will be coming out pretty soon. So yeah.
So social media, obviously on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm trying to figure out TikTok at the moment as well, but I'm hopeless.
Zach knows about it.
Zach knows about it. He can teach me. So that's those social medias. Merch I do have. So I've got no more of my old run shirt. They're all done. I've got my new one, which I really probably should have worn today, which will be hopefully available again at the end of November. I've just supplied a new, or just got a new source to make them for me. Nice. Hopefully other merch coming out, so like photos, key rings, all that kind of stuff as well. I have, what do we have? Riot City coming up on November 11th, so I'll be at that show, and then also at Dude Where's My Ring Again in Perth on November 24th. Nice. So another death match. So we'll see what happens. See how much I bleed this time. But yeah, that's all I've realistically, I think, got for the rest of this year.
Nice, awesome. So yeah, I'll have all the links in the description below, guys. So go and give her a like, follow, all that sort of stuff. And obviously, if you're in Adelaide, check out Riot City on November the 11th. Or if you're in Perth, check out Dude, Where's My Ring? November 24th.
24th.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So check out them guys. As always, support local wrestling, support the local wrestlers. Once you see Miki's merch out there, get some of that. Get her to sign it, all that sort of stuff. She'll love to meet you guys.
Yes.
Have a chat. But yeah, and that pretty much brings us to the end
No
for today.
worries. Thanks for having me.
No,
Thanks
of course.
for finally got this teed up
Yeah.
after ages.
No. We got there in the end. So no, I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you giving up your night to come and have a chat.
Yes.
I've loved the stories. I'm sure all the fans are gonna love listening to it.
Yep.
And we hope to see you kicking ass very soon.
Always.
Awesome. Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Beers and Brawls. Another huge thank you to my guest, Miki Fortune, for coming on. It's awesome to hear about all her stories, and we look forward to seeing what she gets up to in the future. As always, give her a like and follow, give us a like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Thanks to our sponsor, Shifty Lizard. Until next time, cheers.